Alex wanting the noble natties to completely take over something that they never created. You guys never created the bodybuilding industry. The bodybuilding industry is about seeing freaks peak performance and about pulling information off the peak performance into harm mitigation education, thus impacting the masses with better health education. What is up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's ASMR sip is some Gatorade Frost. Fuck Prime. The OG in the game, the double OG, the triple OG in the game. And it's still a better formula than Prime. ASMR Spritz, Intelligent Iron, the best fragrance. Gotta buy it to smell it. All right, today is another BS clout grab. As my voice almost cracks. All right, today I'm going to be going into the Alex Eubank beefing all openly enhanced lifters, and this has come to fruition after Alex has apparently directly called out the Tren Twins in this video. I'm more going to address his claims as a whole and weigh in my experience as being one of the original dudes to be open and fully transparent with my gear usage, PD usage, crazy lab rat, crazy biohacking going on over here for quite some time, much longer than Alex has been in the game. And you know, I feel like the whole biohacking sphere as a whole has done wonders for the fitness industry being open and transparent. And we have seen massive improvements with overall education in the fitness industry on enhanced bodybuilding, as well as tremendous efforts in harm mitigation. And that starts with being open and honest, and then collecting data from the viewers being open and honest, and us all making the enhanced fitness industry a better place, because I'll have Andrew throw up some names of dead bodybuilders with their age next to them. Now, if they were armed with the information and education of what they were doing to themselves, despite still being a walking pharmacy, there might be a light bulb one day that pushes them down a better path. But we're here to see what Alex has to say about it. So for those who don't know Alex Eubank, this is one of the biggest natural fitness industry guys. I say natural because I am unsure if he has ever caved and used some sort of synthetic androgen, as it is a hyper competitive market when you are competing internationally as an influencer, especially in the fitness industry, which is based on satanic vanity of the clout ranking system. So I have no idea if this guy is a lifetime natural or not, but that is what his brand represents. Alex has been at the top of the game for quite some time, and he is in his feelings era, it seems like. Not that I have not participated in arcs like this, but to steer it and spew it like this is a bold move by Alex, and I wanted to see what my audience thinks.
I'm getting to a point where I really just don't care, and I'm gonna start being way more unfiltered, because I guess I got nothing. I mean, people already hate on me regardless and talk mad about me, so I'm gonna get into it. But it's gotten to a point, bro, where me as an influencer, it's time for me to influence in a positive way. I'm tired of just like sitting on a back seat watching as this stuff changes and me not really being open about it. You guys don't know, I've been doing this shit for 4 years almost, or over 4 years. I started making fitness content December of 2019, I believe. I posted my first workout video. Started really gaining traction. 2020 was like the TikTok era. 2021, 2022. I'm gonna go tell them they're not doing it right, they need to do it this way. And everybody thought that they were like a professional. And it was just like really super annoying like phase, because like I remember me and Hattie be like, yo, we can't even post like how to grow a bigger chest video anymore or whatever, because people are just gonna say, oh, this isn't optimal, this isn't optimal. Which was like, so it was a funny era. After that, which I would say is the kind of like the current one we're in, is the glorifying steroid use era. And I would say that
okay, we're gonna throw up the double OG of glorifying steroids, Boston Lloyd. He's been around forever, right? This is not some new age thing. Sure, the short form game has changed and you see it more in the forefront, but the PD stuff has been around.
this started changing, like, I would say it started changing in like 2023 to especially now, with like just a lot of influencers being on steroids now, being open about it, almost too openly, where some of these guys glorify it. Like, again, this is me not hating on any specific people. I'm not gonna ever blame, get on someone for chasing their bag or whatnot. Like, I get it, I respect the hustle, but it's the people I'm speaking to is y'all consuming the content, because you're most likely an impressionable young man. And like, I'll say Togi, for example.
Andrew, he says, yeah, I'm not gonna call anyone out, like blah 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 spell, blah 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 spell, blah 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 spell, and then Togi gets brought up. Talk straight. Talk straight. G-code. Talk straight. Don't do that. Don't do that innuendo bullshit. Just talk straight. You're going to talk about Togi? Should be like, I wanted to bring him up. Don't fucking dust filter it. What the fuck is that? He's mad at Togi, which I already just made a video on Togi. And, you know, Eubank, the king of Photoshop, is about to go in on Togi. Meaning, yes, I have called out Togi specifically for the edits where he injects and drinks the chems on camera. However, Eubank has been caught photoshopping as a, in quotation marks, lifetime natural. Again, which is worse? Weigh in the comments below. Is Togi being the crazy Togi he is because that is who he is? Or is Eubank using the art and satanic act of deception by modifying, photoshopping everything to get to the top to compete against the Togis? The world may never know.
He's been popping lately. He's doing amazing for himself. Good to him. But when I look at his YouTube and I look at his titles, bro, it's like about hopping on gear, glorifying steroid use. You see his like popular gym edits. It's literally taking like unnatural substances, and those types of content rip. There's a few other guys that I can't really think of their names off the top of my head, but like that type of content has been doing very well lately. And it's like so wild to me seeing this happen because I'm like, yo, if someone would have posted this like 2 years ago, they would have gotten ripped apart for it. But now it's in the sense.
I honestly don't agree with that. If Togi popped up 2 years ago, I feel like Togi, because of the polarizing character he portrays on camera, I think he would have did the same pop off back then. Has it really changed? Or has Togi just figured out the jigsaw formula by looking at Steve Wodu and other guys? And you can argue the paradigms of their morals and ethics. I can argue the paradigms of your morals and ethics as well, Alex, with the Photoshop stuff. I feel like Togi should exist. I feel like he should refine his brand. I don't feel like you should get triggered that Togi is openly enhanced and talking about it, because not only is he going to spark more education on enhanced substances by being that polarizing and open, he's definitely going to steer people towards harm mitigation, because you have seen the destruction of Togi as far as everything he talks about. It's not like Togi's like completely ignoring all the bad shit that's happening to him as he's being a lab rat in his younger years. That's not what I'm seeing. Sure, the gear edits gotta go, and those are what popped him off, but the Photoshop call outs, some of those posts that you have, Alex, were the posts that were going around Explore, collecting all the clout that has you sitting pretty right now.
It's building their following. It's actually helping them, glorifying the steroid use. And it's almost like the meta now is like just to be the most jacked, unhealthiest, ugly, strongest man, and like that's what these guys are chasing now. So it's so different from when
Andrew, remember like bodybuilding back in the day where it wasn't social media? It literally was like grunge, you know, Dorian Yates, bodybuilding. Fundamentally, Alex, that is what bodybuilding is. Taking your problems in the gym and getting it out and pushing that drive, pushing that allopregnanolone up.
I like was doing it and I was doing it well was like everyone wanted the aesthetic frame, and it's changed a lot. People used to be like, people used to glorify my physique, and this is me not wishing that this comes back. I don't care, bro. Me making this, you might be saying you're only doing this because you're not doing as well, Alex. You're not getting the views you used to get, bro. I don't care. I cannot make another dollar from this whole entire industry, and I will still be set for life because I went about it in a good way to build up my businesses. So I'm chilling, bro. I'm speaking to this because I genuinely fear for the future of this and the people consuming this type of shit, bro.
Andrew, would you fear for all the Photoshop and deception that Eubanks has caused? Like, man, I saw those pictures, you know, Goob posted, and I'm like, you know, is that going to be every influencer now photoshopping? Am I going to roll up at 270 and see the dude who mogs me on Instagram and be like, what?
Because they're going to ruin their lives, bro. And I'm not, as an influencer, it's time for me to influence. And I'm going to do that shit right now by me being unfiltered, telling you all this stuff. People saying now, like, Alex, your physique is mid, you need to get bigger. The whole concept of what a good physique is has went from here to here at a point where you can only get here by taking steroids and being stupid.
I might do my own natural bodybuilding segment playlist at this point. I don't think Alex Eubank has been progressing his compound movement strength volume as well as he could be. I'll say it kindly like that. That would be how he builds an incredibly big, muscular, bull-like natural physique. I'll go into my past. I've been training forever. I've trained next to elite natural bodybuilders in the sense of they dwarfed me, they mogged me, I was enhanced, they were not. They were squatting high bar over 5 plates for sets of 10, completely natural farmer boys. They cut that up later in their life. It looks like they're on steroids. No, they're just fucking strong as fuck. They ate like a horse when they were younger. They got in the squat rack, did over 5 plates for volume as a natural, have that elite central nervous system. That's how you would create an insane physique. These physiques exist on Instagram. They exist already, right? You can go check an elite natural. That's, in my opinion, the impressive way to progress as a natural athlete in the bodybuilding sense. That would be the only way you fire the skeletal AR enough to cause the adaptation to hold the tissue. Enhanced, natural, it's all about physique progression. It's about the progression of the physique as you follow the person. Olive Andrew throw at me starting at 140 pounds. I'm at 270 now. Everyone's bitching at me that I haven't cut and shredded up, but at least I've gone more progress every single year. Alex, I know you can progress more. You're afraid to bulk because of the social media metrics that hold you at that current physique. I do think a powerlifting arc. I dropped the small squat program, last topic video I did. Unless I see these all natural bodybuilders slaving away in the squat rack, on the bench, on the deadlift for bodybuilder volume that's super heavy, eating like a horse, then I'm not convinced they are going to continue progressing as an elite natural, because there are guys who train in that dog mindset as a complete natural, and after 11 years straight of doing that, they legit look like they used gear before, and they did not. The only way they got there is from that crazy high volume strength volume.
Stupid unhealthy. It's like they glorify this unhealthy look now, and some of these guys are like making a bag off this type of content, and I understand and respect your hustle, but it's...
We could point out you made a bag off the deception on Instagram, the angles of Instagram. You're not as big as you are in person. I'm not saying I'm butthurt over it. I'm not saying I'm going to make a video just dumping my feelings about that, but it can be painted like that. You're going to get mad at Togi for being open and honest about biohacking. He's now being chirped by all the biohackers. He's going to be more educated by all the biohackers, and that's going to lead to a more powerful 30-year-old version of Togi as he gets refined. I feel like if I made a video bringing up all your Photoshop as you climb to the top, the most famous climb of Alex Eubank, it would be something to nitpick, just the way you're nitpicking them for being open and honest. You can nitpick me. There's tons of things you can nitpick me about. Are you really that innocent? Are you really that innocent with this?
The glorification of it. Like, these kids who are watching this stuff are like, oh, I want to be like my favorite fitness influencer who's openly open about promoting hella gear usage, so maybe I should do the same thing so I can end up like them. And the thing is, like, you can take gear healthy, yeah, I'll say that, if you're like C-bum level. You have like all the money to like get the blood work, the doctors, all that. 99% of the people who are probably watching that, who are thinking about doing it, do not have the ability or the connections or the resources to do it in a healthy way.
There is always a health risk when it comes to becoming enhanced. Can the average gym bro do it by the book, be on top of everything? Absolutely. You don't need to be C-bum to have the perfect brains around you. You actually don't even need a coach. This little niche biohacking thing I exist in, all of us, you don't have to listen to me. You can listen to your favorite one. If you inhale out of this little specific niche, you will be armed with information that allows you to negotiate even with your family doctors at a much higher level. And if you are struggling with low testosterone, you've gotten your diet right, you got your bloods right, you can improve it, and you're anxious all day with low T. TRT, HRT might change your life, and it might steer you from coping in the bar with that, or me coping with weed with that. TRT, HRT shouldn't be this thing where it's like, once I step there, yikes. Like, you can always just get off the TRT, HRT and recover the HPTA. Do we want to hide it and censor all of it and then just be in this fuckery state forever? Or is it going to get to a point where every single person has this level of information and education that self-harm mitigation starts to occur? Your friends start to be like, I know you're on orals. You walked in and you're fucking beat red. You could die of a heart attack at any fucking time. I want to see you get off the orals. What fucking cycle? Let's cut it in half. That's what goes on when everyone's armed with education. When it's censored and everyone's being quiet. How does that help anyone?
do it in a dumbass way where you're gonna take years off your life and ruin your life. And I've seen this happen firsthand, bro. Like, I lived with the twins, and this is not me hating on them, bro.
All right, here comes the Tren Twins name drop, right? The Tren Twins, it's just like they're these like little pinatas, Andrew, of fucking clout coins that everyone seems to go after at this point. They were friends with Alex. They put him on, dumped clout on him, exchanged fire, and here he is about to make his critique on the Tren Twins, who were already well along in their lifting career, had major fame just flowing the entire way up there, and they have aspirations to be, you know, the big juice guys, to take all the risk, to potentially die young. That has already been processed by both of them, and they decided to go that direction. Just the same way you decided to use the deception of Photoshop. If I had Andrew, add an inch to my arms before I post it. I'm doing that all the way as I'm climbing. Nothing's going through my head about that.
They were my brothers at one point, and like I was with them when they were natural, and then I was with them when they first hopped on gear, and I saw the change and how it happened, bro. And even in the beginning, bro, they were taking they took fake shit, like fake steroids, bro, like because they weren't directly connected with the right resources quite yet. I'm like, bro, this is like probably how it goes for so much people, injecting foreign ass substances into your body that you don't even know what you're injecting for. What? Just so you can lift a little bit more in the gym.
More education is gonna get out there. More harm mitigation of UGLs. Reddit. Jalosnik, you can see public UGL underground labs tested on forum boards before you buy. And that's how we destroy the fake UGLs and prop up the ones that are maintaining pharma quality to a point we will have an elite pick of chemists who are all about making these UGLs the best. What does that start with? Being open, being transparent, exchanging information. We don't need to censor this back down. And that seems to be his solution, is to censor this back down. Why? We're going to save lives with this education getting to a point where, like I said, everyone's going to make critiques on their health deteriorating from being enhanced. Everyone's going to start asking, oh, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? It's going to become common knowledge. And then we're going to see people's lives get saved. And we're going to see Alex's paradigm of someone being able to talk their best friend out of death cycling even more than they already did. That starts with open transparency.
Just so you can look a little bit better, even though majority of the time a lot of people who are on gear look like shit and look worse than some natural.
Like at first he's painting the paradigm, oh, you go on gear, you blow up, they're getting the bag, I'm all happy for them. Now it's like you go on gear, you're ugly, it's not worth it, you only gain a little bit of it's like
it's just such a stupid concept. Like you're literally trying to fix a short-term issue that's going to give you a long-term issue. It just makes no sense to me. And it's different. Again, if you're competing and you're like a C-mom, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you got to do. But like I'm saying,
I'm gonna paint this completely different. You don't have to be fucking C-bum to really make use of HRT, hormone replacement therapy, or TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. If you're going through your 20s with low T, switching that, whether you tried everything natural or not, switching that could end up 35-year-old version much different, much better spot from correcting that issue. And that don't need to be shown on stage. That don't need to be told to anyone. Having that dopaminergic drive, that vicious mentality, the neurochemical difference of being struggling, suffering, hypogonadal versus having the correct amount of hormones flowing through you, even or a little more, would definitely beat wasting away in a bar and drinking your sorrows away like most men. That needs to be brought up. That's the argument. It's not like, oh, well, Andrew, we know C-Bum's going to turn pro, so just throw the pharmacy like a Pokeball at him, but everyone else, no.
What I'm seeing happening in it, or even points where like some of the stuff that they would take, like I could see it changing their mental, bro. At one point when they were, not on the right stuff. Again, this is not hating, bro. I love these guys. They like realized it too, so they changed, they fixed it. Now they're on like the good, like they're on a a better level because they have the right connections to do it in a healthy way. But like, bro, like literally, like I remember Mikey became like paranoid at one point, and there was a point where like they literally would avoid me completely. Like we were like best friends. They literally were avoiding me off of like paranoia. And I remember it got to the point where Mikey had to like apologize to me, and then they fixed up like their stuff. And it just caused issues, and I was like, bro, like this steroid stuff is awful. Like this literally ruins not only like your physical body, but messes with your head and your mind. Like this is so not worth it. I don't get why anybody would want to like just half-ass do this for what? Just to get bigger, stronger? It makes no sense to me. But
to completely change your quality of life. Let's not talk about the race cars, the Tren Twins, the high performance. They know shit's going to go bad. They know they're constantly going to be in the shop getting the race car repaired, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about the trickle down, the OEM plus parts of TRT. That is the argument, right? I don't get why people would do this. If you're struggling with low T, low androgens for a very long time and that got fixed, it would be a night and day improvement for the risk. 100%. That's my opinion. You can think otherwise. That is what should be talked about, is we are taking biochem, biomodulation, biohacking, and we are releasing it to the masses. Obviously, it's going to be crazy polarizing, but at the end of the day, once the education of the general audience that watches the fitness industry reaches a certain threshold, we're going to see massive amounts of harm mitigation and care versus the continuous death cycles we see. I think Alex is just of the opinion of, if Alex had two bodies and he could throw one away, that second version would be sauced to the max right now, and he would be enjoying that dangerous path. Because of Alex's wisdom, he's decided not to go down that path because he's already gotten, like you said in this video, he's already set for life. Why continue to push the health side effects if it's something I don't personally need? I get that, but other people may need hormonal assistance and or may turn their life completely 180 degrees around after a hormone assistance enters their life after trying to fix it naturally, and they fail. That is some people in their 20s. I would rather see a 20-year-old trigger pull, deal with that, and push through than suffer, and go to some vice that doesn't help them at all, that doesn't increase performance, recreational abuse.
I've been seeing this industry change into a way where it's glorifying this. And you might be saying, like, I posted a TikTok kind of even talking about this in the first place. People say, Alex, you're one to talk. Like, you always have talked about wanting to hop on gear and all that. Bro, if you really watch my content and you know who I am, bro, you know that 99% of the time I've ever said that.
Andrew, he's like literally openly admitting like skating those video topics of like, I'm going to go on gear. So like that was just a ploy to get views. You weren't actually interested at one point? Bro, if you actually knew my content, you know that shit was fake and I just did it for clout. Like, that's what's just hitting my little autism brain right now.
It is either for like a joke, for clickbait. Maybe there was a few times where I said it out of like my own insecurity of like body dysmorphia, and by me saying, oh, I'm gonna hop on gear, is me making myself feel better by me knowing if I did hop on gear, I would look better than these other people.
If he did compound movement volume of big boy weight, he would also look better. If he did a small squat program, there's no way he wouldn't look better.
That's my only thing I had to deal with. And you can change and mature, and I feel like I've gotten to a point now where I have. And I'll say, like, the only thing I ever would consider would be like TRT when I'm like 35 plus. So I think that is still like a healthy way to keep yourself in a natural range, but that's not what...
Andrew's cracking up behind the camera. He can sense my little bipolar contradiction. Like, it's just like yank. Like, what am I listening to, Alex? Now you're gonna do TRT at 35 plus? All of a sudden at 35 plus, it's okay. Andrew, at 35 plus, I'm having my first beer. You're gonna put me in a straight jacket, hop me up in a bipolar mania. We're gonna go to a bar. You're gonna dump a beer down my throat. Let people do what they want to do. I don't get it. The fitness industry as a whole would not be where it was without fucking performance enhancing drugs. Performance enhancing drugs at the top of the top performance is bodybuilders. It trickles down into normal people's lives. F1 pushes the performance and safety of vehicles. You can thank F1 technology in some of your regular commuting vehicles. It trickles all the way down. I've always loved the extremeness about bodybuilding. That's the winner right there, Andrew. You could do anything. That right there, he is the winner. That is what I love about bodybuilding, is the extremeness. And that it was what it was built upon. It was built upon. If Arnold didn't take steroids and become larger than life, would bodybuilding be in the same spot to where Eubank, he's good. I'm set for life. It's other people's backs he climbed up. And I'm not saying like that's bad. It's just like, that's how bodybuilding started. That's how all the eyeballs converged. Is the larger life characters that slaved away in the gym enhanced. That's what happened. And now we're going to completely deflate it of PEDs? No. We need the renaissance of education of PEDs. The biohackers have been working very hard to educate the general public on the damage they're doing to themselves and steer them towards health span, which is HRT and TRT. That's what you agree. But that's like saying like, oh, well, I never want to push it to the limit once, and or I never want to do a couple cycles, put on permanent tissue through hyperplasia of the growth hormone pathway, and then maintain it on TRT, HRT later. Take that little risk when I'm young, the body can take the abuse in theory, and then relax on TRT later with all this muscle held on the TRT. With Alex, it's just like, what was the goal of uploading this video? Just to draw that the glorification is more than you'd prefer? Or is something in the industry changing that's impacting you personally as a person? That's what I want to see out of his mouth, but I'm almost halfway through the vid.
These kids and the people in this industry are doing, they're blasting unhealthy substances that are unnatural, that are not good for you, that can cause years taken off your life, that can cause heart failures, that can cause all these issues. And it's just not worth it, bro. And
throw up Isle of Man TT. Like when I see those bad boy gangsters get on their like 250-mile-an-hour bike to go fucking dog it through some town, yeah, I'm worried. But that, you know, that performance is there, that peak performance, that holy shit. If UFC, I'm like, I don't want him to get a concussion. I don't want him to get CTE. Are we just going to do nothing all day? He's enjoyed all the fruits of all the enhanced bodybuilders that came before him. And now that the openness is there to a point where we can start to help these mentally ill bodybuilders who are abusing too much come to light and refine their cycle and put them into a much healthier path. I just see it as Alex wanting the noble natties to completely take over something that they never created. You guys never created the bodybuilding industry. The bodybuilding industry is about seeing freaks, peak performance, and about pulling information off the peak performance into harm mitigation education, thus impacting the masses with better health education. Andrew, where do you think protein powder came from? Some bodybuilder, I need more protein, I gotta get more. And then like the grandma's taking it now. It trickled down. Same way with F1 cars.
it's getting glorified, dude. And it's like me being open about this is me even putting myself at risk because I already know people are gonna like shit on it and just like pull me apart for it and be like, Alex, you're only ranting or venting about this because you're small, because you're not doing as well, whatever.
I don't think it's about being small or you not doing better. I just think it's about you just not seeing that some people like to party. They like to go to the bar. That's what they like to do. Other people, you know, me personally struggling with bipolar, especially in my earlier days as a complete natural. I needed to train every day when I was a complete natural. I was overtraining. I was upset every day and I was like, wow, this helps me get it out of my system. I was training daily, 7 days a week for 2 hours. No wonder I needed to be enhanced to recover from that. And that was me before I even thought about being enhanced, before I thought about being a bodybuilder. So for you to say as I age, if I didn't want to throw some gym candy in there the same way that I wouldn't judge someone who wanted to go to the bar and throw some alcohol in there. It's just one of those things because like I go to the bar and I'm bipolar and don't drink. I have to shame the other people for drinking, even the high performance drinkers that they might fill the room with fun and laughter, but they're paying for it. I don't care. That's what they want to do. If I go to the gym and want some PEDs and want some growth hormones so I can repair myself faster, and I'm totally cool with 2 years at the end of my life where what are you doing at that age anyways? That's my prerogative to make that decision. I feel like all those younger bodybuilders being like that, they'll get critiqued by the older biohackers, then they'll spill it down to the younger biohackers.
Like, bro, if you hate me going into this video, if you don't like me, you don't hate me, for whatever reason that is, that's perfectly fine with me. But I actually am worried for the people consuming this type of content that is being glorified, and they're gonna want to be like these people, or they're gonna want to, you know, because they think that it's so glorified and accepted now that it's okay to just openly go and do it, and they're gonna go their hormones up, their whole, I'm sorry for cussing, they're gonna go mess up their whole entire bodies, potentially take years off their life, bro. You look at people who take steroids, look at their before when they're natural, and then their after, even after just a few years, look how fast it ages you. It makes you literally kind of look.
Andrew, remember that topic I did where I talk about water retention on the face with, you know, enhanced bodybuilding cycles and how it goes completely away, but you look prematurely aged and anything causing nitrogen retention or intracellular water weight would make you look aged. Well, there's a topic video for you to link right there.
Look ugly, bro. Like, who wants to look ugly? Like, I don't get it. Like, if
Who wants to look ugly, Andrew? Who wants to look small? Who wants to look short? Who wants to look tall? Where are we going?
that's what it's doing to your external appearance of like aging you, messing up your skin, doing all these things, what do you think it's doing to your internal body that's actually filtering it, right? Like, it's so not worth it, bro. And I'm tired of people glorifying it and it becoming like a trend to like show the gear you're taking, or to like just be all about, oh, let me just become the most biggest, jacked, strongest like person, like ugly. Like, I just don't get it, bro. And I'm not gonna stand for it, because me as an influencer, I gotta influence, and it's time to influence. And I'm gonna keep standing for be natural, stay healthy, bro. Don't care about none of that shit. Life is so much deeper and more important than just lifting weights and being the strongest, biggest guy. There's so much more to life that life has to offer. And I know a lot of you guys who are probably in high school can only relate to the gym, or college can only relate to the gym because that's your only outlet where you feel like validation in life, or the only outlet that you're actually having fun in life. So it seems like taking steroids or doing all that dumb shit is just going to be the only thing that's going to continue to keep fulfilling you. It's not, bro. It's bullshit, dude. There's so much more to life. And I get that I've been in that point where all I had was like the gym. All I had was the gym. So when I think of something that can amplify my experience in the gym, it seems very like pleasing to you. It's like, oh, that's cool. I can get bigger, stronger, way quicker. Oh, cool. Like that seems dope. And now that's being normalized. It's like everybody else is doing it, so why can't I do it too? No, bro. That shit is stupid, bro. There's so much more to life. It's not worth it.
Andrew, that's why I think about anyone who parties in college. Do I give a shit? No. They can do what they want to do.
Bro, it's not worth ruining your mental, ruining your physical appearance just so you can get a few extra pounds, bro. It's stupid, bro. I'm not gonna stand for it. I'm not gonna like sit here and just watch as I've watched this industry go for something that was so positive to something so toxic, and even just more of the toxic side, bro. It's like everybody's all about just comparing themselves. It's like you post a TikTok of like your PR or your physique, and there's just gonna be everyone in the comments just tearing you apart saying, oh, I benched this when I was 17 years old, or you should get bigger arms, or you're small, you need to, like, that's what I'm seeing, even not on my stuff, but like when I look at other people, like when I look at comments, it's just like it went from an industry that was so positive and uplifting to just like people wanting to be better than everybody else. And it comes from an aspect, I feel like, of like insecurity, just wanting to be better than somebody else to makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. And it's just so sad, bro. And I feel bad. Like, I'll see some of these kids who are like really young, 15, they'll feel confident enough to post their physique, and then the comments are just ripping them apart, people shitting on them, bro. And then
I'm gonna wrap it here. You know, Alex, dude, enhanced bodybuilding is the reason why there were so many eyeballs for you to have your successes. So many yo-yos in this presentation. I get you're covering your ass and you're stating the retorts before they happen, but you're just triggered over the clout moving around, and it will always move around. It is very hard to hold. It's one of those lessons you gotta learn, that this finitely bodybuilding, what was it? Satanic vanity ranking via how much weight you can carry of muscle mass at the leanest weight. This created a ranking system, and it went up from there. And all the drugs and everything were to push the performance for education, discovery, innovation, and at the very end of the cycle, harm mitigation reduction based on all the tragedy around whatever they were doing to push the performance a little bit more. Same with high performance cars. I know you love your GT500, dude. Somebody blew up that motor to see where they could sit it at. If they never knew, how would you know what the block could handle? That's what it's about. It's not about pussifying it to a point where, oh, well, I don't want you to say that because you could influence. That is not a good way to look at the internet. That is not a good way to look at Big Brother. You gotta say how Big Brother actually works, in that an independent, free-thinking mind, seeing both the good and the bad, would yield the most enlightened mind to make the right decision. Censoring Togi to a point where he can't talk about anything because that's gonna steer a high schooler the wrong way. Why not let him say the good, the bad, the ugly? Why not showcase him falling apart if his persona falls apart from the drugs, from the steroids mixing with the drugs, from the high dopamine gambling addiction he's forming? Let the free mind see everything. Let the free mind make its own decision. By controlling the truth, Andrew, you become the ministry of truth out of Harry Potter. It never works. Why did J.K. Rowling put that in Harry Potter? Because it's what you see going on right now. Just let the information flow be open and honest, and you can paint your own little corner of bodybuilding. But the core fundamental of bodybuilding, Andrew, when I would write the program, when you would write the first entity, is exactly what I stated, with it starting out with pushing the limit, high performance. It's gonna stay like that. It's not changing. And the way we get the education out there is by being open, transparent, and then the harm mitigation occurs as the education is shot at it. Togi, drop these orals. It's stupid. Boom, drops the orals. Then the guy watching me critique the cycle goes, I should try maybe a fourth of what I originally planned out, see how far I can get. Harm mitigation occurs. I will see you guys in my next video.